Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. Although this post is an a-hole post, it definitely has a huge entitled sister in here. It starts off with OP asking Reddit whether they're the a-hole for uninviting her sister from their wedding after a disagreement. But then once they go into details, especially in the updates, you'll see that the sheer amount of entitlement the sister has is insane. I do hope that you enjoyed this post. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Anyhow, on to the story. My sister has 2 children, an 8-year-old and a newborn. Our wedding, which is 1.5 years away, is supposed to be child-free with the exception of siblings because my fiancé and I both have a large age gap between us and our siblings. He has a 3, 4 and 12-year-old brother, and I have a teenage brother. I also have my sister and older brother. Obviously, we want our siblings at our wedding, even if they're kids and it breaks our child-free rule. For our wedding, we're renting out a huge Airbnb for a week, a literal mansion, where the wedding and reception will be, and invited all immediate family members to stay with us for the week as our first family vacation as an official family. I love my nephews, I really do, but my fiancé and I wanted to plan a bunch of adult and couples events like wine tasting, e-bike tours, snorkeling, etc. And I don't want kids with me when we do it. The host was nice enough to match us with some babysitters that he frequently works with for events like this. So the other kids, our younger siblings, will stay at the Airbnb with a babysitter. But our parents know that they have to pay for the babysitter. My fiancé and I are paying for all of the adult events we have planned, like the wine tasting and tour, etc. And they are okay with it. We want them to pay for childcare simply because I don't want to be responsible for anyone's children for the entirety of the wedding and vacation afterwards, financially or emotionally. There will be plenty of things for the kids to do at the Airbnb as well. My sister said that it's not fair that our siblings are invited but not my nephews, and I told her that if I broke the child-free rule for everyone I loved, there would be no child-free rule. She told me that if I'm not allowing kids, I have to pay for childcare and find someone to stay with them for a week. I told her no. She said I'm not paying for a babysitter, and I told her, then don't come. I was pissed that she was trying to manipulate me into paying for childcare when I'm literally offering her an all-expense-paid vacation. The only thing that she has to pay for is childcare for her own children. I told her that if she was going to make my wedding about her, I don't want her there. She then flipped out and called me every name that she could think of, so I yanked her invite altogether and I told her that I'd send her pics of the wedding and vacation afterwards so that she can see where her selfishness got her. My family is super close to each other and I love my nephews, so everyone was very surprised I made the wedding child-free. But after I yanked my sister's invite, people started to also decline the invite. My response has pretty much been, you aren't punishing me the way that you think you are. All you're doing is saving me money, but if you don't come support me on my love day, expect me to go no contact. Now everyone is pissed. At me. I think this may have come off as a bit bridezilla, but I don't think that I owe any of them anything honestly. It's my wedding. Am I being a selfish a-hole here? OP then added a couple of edits to the original post. I don't think I made clear that my family is holding their attendance over my head and are saying, if you don't invite your sister and nephews, I won't come either. So I told them, don't come. But I don't appreciate the way that they were trying to manipulate my decision, so I told them that if they don't come, I'm going no contact. I told her that she could come for the wedding and not stay for the vacation, but she wanted both. I only uninvited her after she said a bunch of nasty stuff to me. The exception to the child-free rule is for immediate family only. There will be things for the kids to do at the Airbnb. And a lot of people are saying, wait till you have kids, but I would just not come to the wedding. I would choose my kids over the wedding. To me, it's my love day, but I understand to everybody else it's just a stupid wedding, and I'm okay with that. No one has to come that doesn't want to, and I'm okay with that. It's completely understandable. But people that are not coming out of spite of the situation, I take problems with. Someone commented, "Not the a-hole. People have child-free weddings all the time. My wedding was child-free. Siblings are way different than nieces and nephews. Sorry, but it's true. No one is entitled to come to your expenses-paid vacation wedding, especially not if they want you to pay for their childcare on top of a free trip." OP replied, "That's what I think. People are saying it's wrong to invite siblings but not nephews, but nephews aren't immediate family, and those are the only people we bent the rules for." Then the original commenter replied, "Like, yeah, you could have handled it with more grace, but they shouldn't be surprised that you're reacting negatively when they effectively are trying to punish you for something they don't agree with." Someone else commented, "I honestly am going to go with not the a-hole. Your parents agreed to pay for childcare because they understand that their children are not your responsibility. No matter how much you love them, which is enough to allow children at a child-free wedding, your sister has a year and a half to come up with childcare to attend a wedding that you're paying for. It's extremely selfish for her to expect you to pay for something for your wedding and the entire vacation for all attendees and then also take care of her children for her. It's also really low of her to insult you for not doing so. All the family members backing out and picking sides are kind of acting a little toxic, dangling their attendance over your head just so you'll cave to your sister's demands. It makes me feel like they favor her over you, and this is supposed to be your special event. She'd still have to pay for childcare for her children to be watched at the Airbnb since you're not even allowing the child siblings to some events. Why is she expecting that it would be different with her kids?" Someone else commented, "Everyone's an a-hole here. Frankly, I think that she's being entitled, but so are you, particularly with threatening to go no contact if people don't come to your wedding. The thing about a child-free wedding and a destination wedding, I assume it's a destination based on the Airbnb, is that you need to accept that some people will not come, let alone a child-free destination wedding. If people say no to coming along, you need to accept that with good grace. Having a week-long vacation isn't the gift that you think it is either. It's a holiday, yes, but it's a holiday on your terms, about you, doing what you want. There's nothing wrong with that on your wedding, but it's not the same as gifting someone a holiday where they want to go and doing what they want to do. I don't think that it's realistic for kids to sit happily supervised at an Airbnb all week while the parents go out and do fun stuff either. They will be acutely aware that they're just missing out all the time, especially with stuff like bike tours and snorkeling. On the other hand, I don't like her attitude of telling you to make her childcare arrangements and payments for her. That also smacks of arrogance and entitlement. I do also understand why you're making an exception solely for your siblings. This should have been a far easier discussion. My wedding is child-free, but I'm making an exception solely for my siblings because they're my siblings. And then your sister would reply, "Okay, I'm sorry we can't make it. Can we do lunch instead?" And you reply, "Yep, sounds good. I'm sorry you can't make it." Job done. Everyone sucks. OP replied, "I don't like the way that people are trying to hold their attendance over my head just so that I'll break and invite my sister and her kids." The commenter replied, "Frankly, you shouldn't have uninvited your sister. You should have left it up to her as to whether to accept or decline. Her behavior was, of course, awful. Calling you names is no way to go about it either." OP replied, "She said some really ugly things to me and I'd probably get banned for saying it on here. That's why I uninvited her. Not because she was upset about the wedding being child-free." And then the commenter replied, "That's a fair point." Someone else commented, "Not the a-hole. It's your wedding. You can make it child-free if you want. You are offering your guests a place to stay for free while paying for everyone's activities. This is extremely generous. I understand if your sister doesn't want to come because she can't bring her children, but it is unreasonable for her to request that you pay for her children's childcare. Also, she can't compare your nephew to your siblings." Those are different relationships. So I understand why you want your younger siblings to attend and not your nephews. Good for you for staying firm in your decision. I don't know if I would go no contact with everyone who declines. They may be declining because they can't afford to pay for a sitter or feel uncomfortable leaving their children for a week. I wouldn't assume that people are only declining to show solidarity with your sister. If you do find out that that's the case, then by all means go no contact if that is how you truly feel. After reading all of the comments telling me no one cares about our wedding, the vacation doesn't sound like it'll be fun at all, I'm being controlling, I'm being a selfish and entitled bridezilla, I clearly don't value my family, etc., etc., my fiancé and I have decided to cancel our wedding altogether. We'll have a small ceremony for us and our parents, and then my husband and I will use the big beautiful mansion we rented as our honeymoon. We'll message the Airbnb host tomorrow about moving the dates up. We're very excited. I realize neither of us wanted to cater to anyone because the only people that matter when it comes to our marriage is us. F everyone else. To everyone saying that child-free weddings are egotistical, no one cares about your kids. I love kids, I really do, but no one should have to cater to your kids' needs except you. Thank you all for making me realize how stupid family weddings are. We don't need them present to have our happily ever after. We'd prefer to avoid the drama altogether, that's all. And then OP added a couple of edits. Oh my god, stop coming after me for calling it my love day. And to those who asked, yes, I did get that phrase from Grey's Anatomy. Stop roasting me though. I'll update with family's reaction to my wedding cancellations tomorrow. And then they added, okay, I get it. It's not child-free wedding because siblings will be there. How about this? No children allowed except siblings. Is that better? It's all semantics that, to be frank, don't matter. Here's some things wrapping up my post. I couldn't add that much to the post, so here it is. So I left this comment and a lot of people responded saying that I should have added this to the post. I couldn't add it on Am I the A-hole, so here it is. Oh my god, where do I start? I moved in with my sister after her kids were born and her baby daddy left. I was only 15 and lived with her for 3 years and helped raise her kid, but she swears it never happened. When she moved out of my parents, she took the family dog with her. The last time that she moved, she asked for help because she's pregnant, but then sat there the entire time and did nothing. I had to clean hers and her son's room, which both had trash up to my knees, and then pack everything. Why? Because her stomach hurt. Not to sound insensitive, but the only time that she seems to feel sick was when she had something to do. She was about 3 months along. My fiancé, who was my boyfriend at the time, and I offered to help her move, like actually pack up the truck and move furniture and such. And again, she sat doing nothing the entire time. It was -5 degrees outside and she sat in the car. Once we were done, I got into the car and she said, "Oh good, you're done." And I was like, "Yeah, we're done. You could have helped." And she's like, "But it's cold." Oh my god, I was so mad. But she was pregnant, so I pushed through. I kept helping. Afterwards, my boyfriend and I were talking about where we wanted to eat and she started screaming at us to shut the F up because she's hungry and she doesn't want to listen to people talk about food. Oh my god, I was mortified. He spent all day lugging furniture in negative weather and she was so rude. Never even thanked him. Then, I was over the moon to throw her a baby shower. I love kids, but she never sent me an invite list. I waited months and eventually made it myself because we were running out of time and she pitched a fit about who I did or didn't invite. And then she effing uninvited me to a baby shower that I spent hundreds of dollars and hours of time planning. The only job that she has as a pregnant mother is to make an invite list and to show up on time, but she also complained about the time I planned it. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I sent out an email cancelling the wedding to quote-unquote avoid any conflicts with childcare arrangements, and we decided that it wasn't fair to people with children. Obviously that isn't true, but that's where it all began, so I didn't tell anyone about the conflict between my sister and I, but she had already dragged half of the family into it, so they knew the situation. This is each person's reaction. My parents, they were disappointed, but they understood. My sister has always been a nightmare, and we have always given her anything that she wants, if for nothing else, just to shut her up. They literally let her take the family dog just to keep her from throwing a tantrum. They're glad that I shut her up as well and not just gave her what she wants. His parents, they were so sad. They were really excited to have this vacation, but they're still really happy for us and understand. Younger siblings are effing crushed. I'm going to go on a weekend trip with them just to make up for it. That seemed to cheer them up. My sister, my effing sister, made a Facebook post telling everyone what an arrogant human being that I am. She texted me saying that she never wants to see me again, but she also said that when I accidentally broke her favorite perfume. And again when I told her son that he couldn't have my cat. Yes, you heard that right. My cat of 2 years. And she told her son in front of me, "Maybe Auntie will let you take the cat when we leave." And she put me in the awkward and upsetting position of telling my nephew and sister absolutely not. And again when I wouldn't make her dozens of meals for her to freeze for after she gave birth. And again when I didn't buy her a gift for her baby shower that she uninvited me to, that I planned. She'll get over it once she needs a babysitter again, like every time. Everyone else, honestly, that's just too much to go into. Some people are butthurt that they don't get to attend the wedding and are calling me petty and small. I am, but I don't care. But some are just annoyed because this is what my sister does. This is who she is. I decided I don't give an F if I'm the a-hole or not. It's my wedding. My fiancé is happy with this decision, and we will do what we want. But honestly, the people calling me an a-hole were usually a-holes themselves. Telling me that I'll get divorced, my family probably hates me, and they should go no contact with me either way, that I'm insufferable, and that I hate kids, and that I'm a bad aunt, and that I should never have kids. That I'm entitled, etc., etc. And I don't think that I should cater to people like that. Thanks for helping me realize how ungrateful people are. So guys, what did you think about this? Honestly, from what I understand, weddings can either be about the couple or about the extended family. It's usually the latter case if you come from a very collectivistic culture. It's really hard to thread the line between the two, and they're definitely influenced by what type of society you live in. I do think that OP and their fiancé made the right decision, if I'm being honest. Without going into a lot of details, I'll just say that I have a lot of views about the wedding industry and how crazy expensive it can be sometimes. Like, it's atrocious, some of the prices that we have to put up with just for cultural norms. It's insane, and I really dislike it. So anyone that goes towards a more minimalistic wedding, I personally support. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you'd like to listen to more stories from Reddit with updates.